Hit
All right, ready.
Okay, so welcome everyone. I am Paula. I am the manager here at the Stitch and Den. I am excited to be here with you today for, like we said before, our third demo day event. Today I'm going to show you how to do crocheted flowers and knitted flowers. So my friend Nancy, who's on today, gave me the pattern for these little knitted flowers, and I wrote her back and I said, they're tiny. Are they supposed to be this tiny? And they are cute little tiny things, but I'm going to give you some ideas on how you can make them different sizes. And so I'm not using any special yarn or anything, but I'm going to show you what I am using and show you like when you embellish the flowers, I think that's what actually makes them. So the better the buttons, the better the flowers. So before I do that, I'm just going to kind of let you know how we're going to work things today. I'm going to ask everyone to mute and just remain muted until the demonstration is over, and then you're welcome to unmute and ask questions. And if you have questions that you would like to ask while I'm working, you can type them into the chat, and then Susan can feed me the questions. She's my assistant today. And then let's see, the links for all the products that we'll talk about will be provided in the chat, and then we will send those out in an email probably next week as well. And if you can't find something, or you're not navigating the website, it's not working the way you think it should, or if you see that we're out of something, you're always welcome to give us a call and we'll get things ordered if we should run out of anything. So let's see, I am going to start with my new summer sweater class, and I see one of the gals on here have already signed up, so thank you. So it is this lovely sweater behind us. It is knit from the bottom up when it has this textured pattern on it, and she calls it lace, but I call it texture because there's no holes. And when I think of lace, I always think of holes being in them, which it's good there's no holes. We don't really want holes in that part of our body. So I really like it. And we start with the top, the bottom, and we work our way up to the top. Then we divide it and work it flat. Each side we work flat, and we're going to learn how to do short rows and combine those with a 3 needle bind off. And then we pick up on the edge and do the sleeves. So the nice thing about this sweater is it is actually, oh, Doreen's making one. Doreen, you and I have good taste. We've made lots of things the same. So the nice thing about this, because it's knit from the bottom up, you can actually adjust the length of it and make it any length that you want. So you can kind of have it cropped, which is very in right now. I don't know if you've seen, but I'd say it's really only in on my daughter. So I'm making mine just a little longer. And then you can also, I'm going to extend those sleeves just a tad and make it a little longer as well. So let's see. Oh, the yarn that the model is made in, it's made in with our La Jolla yarn. And so that's one of the yarns we recommend. And then also we have a few skeins of our Wish You Were Here in Estes Park yarn left. And I think this would make a fabulous, fabulous sweater with the bird watcher. This pattern is called the Bird Watcher. And it's a Casapinka pattern. It's pretty fun. She's known for really good colors, a variety of colors, and lots of different stitches and texture and fun things she inserts to her pattern. A couple other things that I think this Zauberball cotton that we have in the shop will also work for the sweater. And so it's going to, sometimes they come out kind of tie-dye-ish, they come out in multiple different colors. You have to really kind of look and see what's on the inside, because what's on the outside is not always the color that's on the inside. And so the tag here will show you exactly what color to do will be actually, because you might get some of that orange color that are on this ball on the inside. So that's kind of fun. So that's my Bird Watcher summer sweater class. Starts sometime in June, I think June 21st. We're going to do it in person, so I'm very excited to welcome students back into the classroom for in-person learning. And also I will be doing it on Zoom, because we now have all of these wonderful people that want to take all of our classes that don't live here and can't really attend in person. So we're going to do it both ways. And I believe it's going to be on Thursdays at 5 o'clock, and it starts like mid-June. So sorry, I can't remember the exact date. All right.
I forwarded the link, Paula, so they'll be able to see when it is.
Okay, great. Thank you. Would you change the camera? So I'm going to show you guys how to make these cute little crocheted flower embellishments. I think
I gotta find it.
it's okay.
Okay.
All right. I think that the flowers get cuter by the buttons that you put with them and how the colors pop. Can you guys see that very well? Give me a thumbs up if it's okay. Okay, good. All right. So I think that these little flowers pop really well. When the cuter the button, the cuter. So I'm gonna just tell you my little tip for finding really cute buttons is to go to Goodwill or ARC or something and shop garments for buttons. And I have just shopped garments only for buttons and then taken the buttons off and then, you know, kind of just recycled the fabric. But I think I found a lot of cute buttons. And of course we have lots of cute buttons in the shop, but sometimes these old buttons are really fun and they can make really neat things. I will just say that if you're putting a button, just because we should probably have a disclaimer, if you're putting a button on something for a child or a baby, make sure it's secured extremely tight so it's not going to come off at all. But these flowers could be used for multiple things. Like hats is kind of an obvious, but you could put them on bags and you could put a pin on the back of them so you could move them from bag to bag. Let's see, you could make little heart or flower embellishments and put on a top, or there's just an endless number of uses for them, I think. So all right, can you mute Elizabeth, or someone is unmuted? Thank you. If someone is unmuted, if you could mute, that'd be really okay.
Okay.
Got it. Okay, great. So Susan's going to put the link to a pattern. We've made up a little pattern that has crochet flowers and the knitted flowers. So the pattern I'm showing you today, Susan's going to put the link in the chat for you. This is a free pattern, so you can just have it. And I'm going to demonstrate first. I'm going to start with the crochet pattern, and I'm going to show you how you make that crochet. So, and just so you know, don't ask me any crochet questions because what I'm demonstrating here is all of my skills of crochet. This is all I know how to do. So hopefully any crocheters out, hopefully I'm not doing it wrong if you're a crocheter. Okay, so our pattern says we're gonna start with the crochet hook and chain 8. And you can use any yarn for this. Thicker yarn will give you bigger flowers. These two flowers are made with the exact same yarn, but I used a size H hook on this flower, and I used a size F hook on the smaller flower. So it is, you can make them different sizes too by messing around and using different hooks with them. So we're going to start with the chain 8. Okay, and then we're going to join our chain in the circle. We're going to insert our needle, our hook, into the first chain, and I'm going to reach in and grab my yarn and pull it through both loops, and that creates a circle. And then I'm going to start with a chain 3. So our pattern says chain 3, and that counts as a double crochet. So we're kind of going up a level, and when we do this chain, it counts as our first double crochet. So then we're going to double crochet in the ring, and a double crochet is where you wrap your yarn around your needle once and you insert it into the center of the circle, and then I'm going to reach in and pull that yarn through, and I'm going to reach and pull my yarn through 2 loops on my needle, and then I'm going to reach in and pull it through 2 more loops on my needle. Okay, then we're going to chain 6. Okay, so this chain creates this little loop here that we're gonna then crochet on again in a few minutes. And then we're going to, it says to do 3 double crochets in the chain. Okay, so we're going to wrap our yarn and insert our hook into the center of the circle, wrap it and pull it through, wrap and pull through 2 stitches on the needle. Oops, I missed that stitch. Oops, let me just start that one over. All right. Let's start that one again. Wrap and pull through, wrap and pull through 2, and then wrap and pull through 2. That's a double crochet. So again, you wrap it around your needle, you insert it into the center, grab your yarn and pull it through. Then I'm going to wrap and pull through 2, wrap and pull through 2. Okay, so I have 3 of them, and then I'm going to chain 6 again. Then I'm going to do 3 double crochets again. And so I'm creating all these little loops on this flower. Three double crochets and then 6 chains. Also, you may notice I'm left-handed. I double crochet left-handed. I hope you can translate that when you are watching the video. I apologize, but my right hand will not crochet.
You look into if you can get one here, buddy.
I
You're
did.
just hopping on, if you wouldn't mind muting when you get on. So we're just repeating the 3 double crochets and the chain 6. And you do that 5 times. I think I'm going to end right here just for time purposes. Okay, and then it says, now we need to, over here we started, we have our chain, which makes a double crochet, and then we have 1 double crochet. So we have to make 1 more double crochet here to finish this little section off here.
Everybody likes your nails, Paula.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so I finished my little flower and I want to join this double crochet with this chain 3 and hook this together and kind of make it close together like how these are over here. So I'm going to insert my needle into the top chain. I'm just inserting it and I'm going to loop the yarn, pull it through both of those loops on my yarn, on my needle. And then that kind of connects that. Okay, so that is our round 1. Then we finish off with round 2. And so we start with a chain 1. The pattern says you skip the next double crochet, which is right here. And then we're going to single crochet, half double crochet, 7 double crochets, half double crochet, and single crochet. And we're going to do all of that in this little loop right here. So that's, we've created this loop so that we can do all of those stitches right here. And this, so this stands for a single crochet, half double crochet, 7 double crochets, a half double crochet, and a single crochet. So let me start with a single crochet. So a single crochet, all I'm going to do is I'm going to reach into the hole, grab my yarn, pull it through, and then I'm going to wrap and pull it through the 2 stitches. That's a single crochet. Okay. And then a half double crochet, I'm going to wrap my yarn and I'm going to insert it into the hole, bring my yarn through the hole, and I'm going to wrap my yarn again, and I'm going to pull it through all 3 of those stitches on my needle. Okay, so that's a half double crochet. Now back to the double crochet, which I just showed, you're going to wrap and you're going to insert it, pull your yarn through, wrap your yarn, you're going to pull it through 2 stitches and pull it through 2. And I just kind of scooch those over so that I have enough room to get all of those stitches on this little loop of yarn. So again, a double crochet, I'm going to wrap my yarn. So on a single crochet, you don't wrap first. On a double crochet and a half double crochet, you wrap. And then you pull it through, and then I pull it through 2 because I'm doing a double crochet. If you have questions on crochet, Hanaya will actually be here a little later today, and you could come back when Hanaya's on, and she can, like I said, this is the extent of my crocheting skills. I can do borders and flowers. It's good as a knitter to know how to crochet, because there are occasions like this where I think these crocheted flowers are really good. Another thing you could do with these flowers is you could use 100% wool, and you can also felt them. And you can make felted flowers to put on little hats and things, which are really cute. Okay, so I lost count here, so let's count. Here's my single, my half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's my 7 double crochets. Now I need to do a half double crochet. So wrap the yarn, insert it, pull it through, and it's because it's a half double crochet, I'm going to wrap my yarn and pull through 3 stitches. Okay, and then I need to end with a single crochet. So I'm going to insert my hook, pull the yarn, and then pull the yarn through the 2 stitches. Okay, so now I've created that first little leaf here. You see that? See, that's what creates this. Then let's see, in the next chain 6 space, oh yeah, I just did that. Now we want to chain 1. So I'm going to chain 1, and that's just where you grab your yarn and you pull it through the loop, just like that. And then I'm going to slip stitch into the next double crochet. So I'm skipping this crochet, this double crochet. And so I want to do a slip stitch into the middle of these 3 double crochets here. So I'm going to insert my needle into, and when I insert it into that stitch, I'm going into both of those legs of the stitch, and I'm going to wrap my yarn, and I'm going to pull it through both of those loops, and that's just a slip stitch. And then it says I'm going to skip, then I'm going to repeat. So I'm going to skip the next double crochet, and then I'm going to go right here into my loop again, and I'm going to do that series of the single crochet, and then the 1 half double crochet, and then the 7 double crochets. And you just keep doing that all the way around. And then when you get to the other end, you just join that, just like we joined it in the circle the first time. And then you have your cute little flower. So if you want to mess around or try felting, we have, I would recommend Cascade 220 or Brown Sheep. Both of those felt really well. Brown Sheep, that looks pretty because it actually, I'm saying a lot of ums, I just realized. The Brown Sheep has like fuzz after you felt it, so it's a little fuzzy. So if in the Cascade has less fuzz, so it just kind of depends on the look that you're going for. So you just keep repeating that process in all of your little flower loops here. And then when you come over here, you just join it together. Any questions on the crocheting part before I move to the knitted one?
No, let's see, I'm reposting the pattern because I didn't see the pattern. So
Okay.
I'm gonna repost the pattern.
Okay. All right.
I think they can do it because it looks pretty simple.
Yes, and we are recording this so that you will be able to, we'll put these videos out so that you can print your pattern and get your yarn and you can do it along with the video later. So, all right, so let's go on to these little teeny tiny knitted flowers. Now, these are really easy too, but I just think that the crochet ones are faster, but it just depends on your preference. So the small knitted flowers are done with basically you just cast on stitches and then you're going to cast them off and we create the loops. And I'm going to show you how to do all that. So you cast on 42 stitches. Now, if you want your flower to be bigger, you can do it by casting on more stitches and you're going to create more where you bind off. You're going to create, you would bind off extra stitches and then you would get a bigger loop there. So you can make these flowers bigger by casting on more stitches. So now takes me a lot of concentrating for me to count. So
Mine's baby hats. I've been casting on usually about 70 and that makes a nice size flower.
oh, okay, 70. And then how many do you cast off in between?
I do the one that came with the baby beret hat, so I just cast them all off. So it might be a little different than the one that you're doing.
I thought that's the one you gave me.
I gave you 2.
Oh, okay. I
So-
guess I didn't see the other one. Okay. So we're going to start with,
It's 10:29 too.
oh, okay. Thank you. Good thing Jenny's is short because I'm running over. Okay. So we're going to start with a knit one. We're going to knit a stitch and then it says to cast off 5 stitches. So in order to start the cast off, you're going to actually want to knit 2 more because I'll show you why, because this pattern here gave you the count in between. And so I'm going to start my cast off. So you have to do 2 stitches in order to start your cast off. So here I am going to take off 1. And then I'm going to cast off 2. This is why you have to count a lot. 3. 4, and then here's 5. And then we're going to sorry, just trying to make sure I do this right. So now I think I did an extra one, so I'm just going to leave this. So we're going to knit 1 and then so before our knit one, we have 2 stitches on the needle and now we have our knit 1. So now we're going to cast off 5 stitches again. So I'm going to knit 2 stitches. Oh, if someone could mute, that'd be good. Okay, and then we're going to, so now I have 4 stitches on my needle. This is what the pattern says, and then I'm going to knit 1. Okay, then you just keep doing this. You keep casting off 5. So I'm going to knit 2 stitches, and then I'm going to start my casting off. So I'm going to cast off, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, you're going to knit a stitch, and then I'm going to start my cast off again after I knit 2 stitches. So just about there. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then you knit 1, and then I'm going to do, I think I have 2 more left. And so I'm going to knit 2 stitches so I can start the cast off. So you're going to start with the fresh 2 stitches every time you do this cast off. Okay, then I'm going to knit 1, and then I'm going to cast off 5 stitches. 1, so I'm going to knit 2, but to start my cast off, I have to knit 2 fresh stitches. So then I can take this one off. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, see, I did an extra one at the beginning accidentally. So, okay, so I only have 4 there, but it's okay. And then I have to knit the last stitch. Okay, so then what you end up with is it looks kind of like this on your needle. And then you're going to cut your yarn, cut your working yarn, and we are going to feed that. I'm going to put this on a tapestry needle. My working yarn, I put it on a tapestry needle. And then you're going to thread it through each of the remaining stitches and pull it tight. So I'm going to just transfer this over to my tapestry needle. Okay, and I'm going to pull my working yarn through this. And when you do that, and you just got to keep pulling till it's tight enough. You make this little flower. And then all I did was I just went to this down, I took my working yarn and I went through the base of that first little leaf and hooked it together. And then you can pull it as tight as you want. And then you've made a little flower. It's amazing. I thought this was actually really cool because I had never done this before. I've always done knitted or crocheted ones. So you can, like I said, you can make these bigger by casting on more stitches at the beginning. And then you would bind off more in between, and then you would get, if you bind off more in between, you're going to get a bigger loop like the, like the crocheted flower. Like this, you can end up with bigger loops the more that you cast off in between. So, are there any questions?
Yes, I have a question. If you make it larger, is there a number you need to cast on to make it come out right? So, like a 5 + 2 or something like that.
I would just think, well, it's trial and error, but Nancy says she casts on 70 stitches, and if it depends on how many petals you want. So, you would, if this has 6 petals, you would have to take your 70 and divide it, so that you have 6 petals, and then you would know how many to cast off.
Okay, thank you.
Do you want to change the the screen. So are there any other questions before we take a break and get reset up for our next demo? Well, thank you for joining me. And what we have coming up next, oh, I want to show you this. Jenny,
Teaser.
yeah, this is gorgeous. So our one of our very good customers, Janice, made this primrose Afghan. And so Jenny's going to give you a demo. Wait till you see her. She kind of did it in fast speed. But so she's going to do a demo of how to make this crocheted primrose Afghan. Nancy, did you do this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So we have another Nancy in the shop, and she did it as well with Jenny. And so you're going to, she shows you how to create this Afghan. And so that will be our next demo, and give us a few minutes to reset. And I believe at 10:45. And we'll have time to, yeah, that's plenty of time. I'll be ready at 10:45. So we'll take just a little break and be back at 10:45 with Jenny's demo.